If your car AC suddenly stops blowing cold air, or the compressor won't kick on, there's one mistake that can cost you hundreds or even over $1,000 if mixed up, and this happens all the time. When some car owners hear the words bad AC compressor, they panic and then try to replace the whole thing immediately, when in many cases, the real problem is just the AC clutch, a relay, low refrigerant, or something much smaller and cheaper to fix. So before you spend serious money on the wrong part, I will show you how to tell the difference between a bad AC compressor and when it is just the clutch. Because if the compressor is actually bad, that's one kind of repair. But if it's just the clutch, or the compressor is not turning on for a different reason, that is a completely different situation, a completely different cost, and a completely different next step. And this is where most drivers, and sometimes even shops, get it wrong. They jump straight to replacing the full compressor before confirming what actually failed. So, what is the main difference between the compressor and the clutch? Well, simply, the AC compressor can be referred to as the main pump that circulates refrigerant through the air conditioning system, while the clutch, on the other hand, is the part on the front of the compressor that engages and disengages the pump when you turn the AC on and off. Here is an example of an engaged clutch, for instance. In other words, we can just say the compressor does the work while the clutch decides when that work gets started. That's why you can have a bad clutch with a perfectly good compressor, or a bad compressor with a clutch that still engages. And this is exactly how people waste money replacing the entire compressor. They see the compressor not spinning, assume the compressor is dead, and replace the whole unit. Or they hear a noise from the front of the compressor and assume the clutch is the only problem, when the compressor itself is already failing internally. So the real question is not just what part is there. The real question is what symptom points to what failure. Let's start with the fastest diagnostic clue. When you turn your AC on, listen and look. If the clutch clicks and engages, but the air is still warm, you may be dealing with an internal compressor problem, low refrigerant, a blockage, or another issue in the system. But if the clutch does not engage at all, that opens up a completely different path of diagnosis. It could be the clutch itself, but it could also be electrical, pressure-related, or control-related. And that right there is where most people get trapped. They assume no engagement means dead compressor. It does not. So before you blame the compressor, the first thing you need to understand is what normal behavior looks like. On most vehicles, when you turn the AC on, the outer pulley on the compressor is already spinning because it is driven by the belt. But the center portion, the clutch plate, should engage when the system commands the compressor to run. If that center section never pulls in, then the compressor is not being engaged. But that still does not tell you why. Now here's the part that can save you money right now. Sometimes the compressor clutch is not engaging simply because the refrigerant level is too low. Many AC systems are designed to shut the compressor off when refrigerant pressure drops below a safe threshold. That is a protection feature. It is not necessarily a failed compressor. The system is basically saying, I'm not going to let the compressor run dry and destroy itself. But to the average driver, it looks exactly like compressor failure. That's one of the most common and expensive misdiagnoses people make. So if your AC compressor is not turning on, don't jump straight to replacement. Low refrigerant alone can prevent clutch engagement. A blown fuse can do it. A bad relay can do it. A pressure switch issue can do it. Damaged wiring can do it. And yes, a failed clutch coil can do it too. That is why diagnosis matters so much. Now, let's separate the signs of a bad clutch from the signs of a bad compressor, because that is where your decision really begins. A bad AC clutch often shows up as no engagement when the AC is turned on, intermittent engagement, clicking but not pulling in fully, visible burning or wear on the clutch face, or a clutch that only works sometimes and then stops. Sometimes the air may be cold one minute and warm the next because the clutch is slipping or failing to stay engaged. In other cases, you may hear rapid clicking as the system tries and fails to engage the clutch properly. A bad AC compressor, on the other hand, usually brings a different type of problem. The clutch may engage, but the system still does not cool. You may hear grinding, whining, or metallic noise. The compressor may seize. The pulley may struggle. The AC may cool weakly and inconsistently, or not at all, even though the clutch appears to be working. In more severe cases, internal compressor failure can send metal debris through the system, which turns a simple repair into a much more expensive one. And this is where the stakes go up. Because if the compressor has failed internally and contaminated the system, you are not just replacing the compressor anymore. You may also be replacing the condenser, flushing lines, replacing the receiver dryer or accumulator, and doing a much bigger repair than you planned for. That's why catching the difference early matters. So, what can you check right now yourself before heading to the shop and spending any money? You want to start with a visual inspection. With the engine running and the AC turned on, locate the compressor of your car. Then watch out to see if the pulley is spinning. The outer pulley usually spins all the time on belt-driven systems. The center clutch plate should pull in and spin with it when the AC is engaged. If the outer pulley is spinning but the center is not, the clutch is not engaging. That's useful information, but again, it does not automatically condemn the compressor. Then listen carefully. Do you hear a click when the AC is switched on? If you hear the click but the clutch does not fully engage, or the air still stays warm, that points you further into either clutch slippage or compressor/system performance issues. If there is no click at all, then you start thinking more about electrical supply, low refrigerant, clutch coil failure, or control problems. Now, let's talk about one of the most overlooked money traps in this entire topic: electrical misdiagnosis. A bad fuse or relay can make the compressor look dead. A broken wire or weak ground can make the clutch appear failed. A sensor or pressure switch can stop the compressor from coming on. And unless you test those things first, you could easily replace a perfectly good compressor and still have the exact same problem afterward. That is one of the worst outcomes, because now you've spent hundreds, maybe over 1,000, and the AC still doesn't work. So before replacing anything major, check the fuse, check the relay, confirm power is reaching the clutch, and confirm the system actually has enough refrigerant pressure to allow engagement. Those checks are not optional if you want an accurate diagnosis. They are the difference between solving the problem and guessing. Now you might be wondering, what fails more often, the clutch or the compressor? The honest answer is that it depends on the vehicle, age, mileage, and operating conditions. But clutch-related issues are absolutely common enough that you should never skip that possibility. Heat, wear, bearing noise, clutch coil failure, and repeated cycling can all wear the clutch out over time. But compressors also fail internally, especially when the system has been run low on refrigerant, contaminated, or stressed for a long time. So the better question is not what fails more often in general. The better question is what your symptoms are telling you right now. If the clutch does not engage and you have no cooling, that still leaves multiple possibilities open. If the clutch engages and the compressor is noisy or the system still doesn't cool, suspicion shifts more toward the compressor or the system itself. If the pulley bearing is noisy, even when the AC is off, that could point to the clutch pulley bearing rather than the internal compressor. And that distinction matters because the repair path can be very different. Now let's talk cost, because this is what most people actually care about once they realize these are different failures. A clutch-only repair can sometimes be significantly cheaper than replacing the full compressor, but it depends on the vehicle and whether the clutch is available separately. On some vehicles, replacing only the clutch is realistic and cost-effective. On others, labor access, parts availability, or reliability concerns push shops toward replacing the full compressor assembly instead. So yes, in theory, clutch replacement is cheaper. In the real world, it depends on whether that option makes sense on your vehicle. A full AC compressor replacement is usually much more expensive. Once you add parts, labor, refrigerant recovery, vacuuming, recharge, and possibly other supporting components, the bill climbs quickly. That is why your title is so important. Replacing the wrong part really can waste $1,000 or more. And here's something most drivers don't know. Sometimes a shop replaces the whole compressor not because the clutch is definitely beyond separate repair, but because replacing the whole unit is faster, reduces comeback risk, and makes warranty handling simpler. From the shop's perspective, that can make sense, but from your perspective as the customer, you still need to know whether the compressor itself was truly bad or whether the clutch or another control issue was the original failure. That's not about distrusting every shop. It's about understanding the logic behind the recommendation. Now let's walk through the most common real-world scenarios. Scenario 1. Your AC suddenly blows warm and the compressor clutch never engages. In that case, you should first think low refrigerant, fuse, relay, pressure switch, clutch coil, or wiring before assuming full compressor failure. Scenario 2. The clutch engages, but the air is still warm. Now you start thinking refrigerant charge, compressor inefficiency, blockage, expansion device issues, condenser performance, or internal compressor wear. Scenario 3, you hear grinding or harsh metallic noise from the compressor area, especially when the clutch engages. Now the compressor itself becomes much more suspicious. Scenario 4, the pulley is noisy even with the AC off. That can point to a clutch pulley bearing problem rather than internal compressor damage. And this is what makes the topic so valuable for viewers. It's not enough to know what the parts are called. You need to know how to interpret the symptoms. Now let's talk about something that can quietly turn a manageable problem into a very expensive one: continuing to force a failing compressor to run. If the compressor is internally damaged and still being commanded on, it can create more debris and more contamination. That means the later you catch it, the more likely the repair gets bigger. So if you hear severe noise, see smoke, smell burning, or the belt begins struggling, that's not the time to keep testing it casually. That's the time to stop and reassess before more damage is done. But on the other hand, if the issue is simply no clutch engagement because of low refrigerant or a relay, replacing the compressor would not just be unnecessary, it would be a total waste. So what should the average driver actually do? First, do not assume no engagement means a dead compressor. Second, do not assume engagement means a healthy compressor. Third, look, listen, and test the basics before authorizing a major repair. Confirm whether the clutch is engaging. Check whether the system has pressure. Check the electrical supply. Pay attention to noise type. And if a shop recommends a compressor right away, first ask them what test confirmed internal compressor failure versus clutch, control, or refrigerant-related issues. That one question alone can change the entire outcome. Ask what specifically failed. Is the clutch not engaging, or is the compressor engaging and not pumping? Was power present at the clutch? Was system pressure checked? Is there noise from the pulley bearing or from internal compressor damage? When you ask those questions, you sound informed, and that makes it much harder for the wrong repair to get pushed through without explanation. Now, let's simplify the whole video into one decision framework you can remember. If the clutch does not engage, think clutch, electrical, pressure, or control issue first. If the clutch engages but cooling is weak or absent, think compressor performance or system problem next. If there is grinding, seizure, or signs of internal damage, suspect compressor failure much more strongly. And if the pulley bearing is noisy even when the AC is off, think clutch bearing or pulley issue. That framework alone will put you ahead of most drivers dealing with this problem. Because the biggest mistake people make with car AC is not that they know nothing, it's that they know just enough to assume the wrong thing too early. They hear compressor and clutch used together, think it's all one part, and then spend money based on the first guess instead of the actual diagnosis. And that is exactly what this video was meant to prevent. So if your car AC is not working right now, don't let panic choose the repair for you. Take a minute, look at the compressor, listen for engagement, think about whether the clutch is coming on, and remember that no engagement does not automatically mean a dead compressor. Sometimes the expensive part is not the bad part. Sometimes the real problem is smaller, cheaper, and much easier to fix than people think. And if you catch that before replacing the wrong component, you do not just save money, you avoid the frustration of doing a major repair and still having the same warm air afterward. If you find this video to be helpful, subscribe to the channel for more detailed guides like this. And check out our other video here, where we compared the signs and symptoms of the AC pressure switch versus the compressor. We also showed how to fix and reset them.